The sun is still up at 7 o'clock. The street outside is warm. Somewhere, someone is grilling dinner. I can smell it from my window. Hi, everyone. I'm Emma. Welcome back to Speak English Daily. Today, we're spending a long summer evening together. Not a busy one, just a slow one. The kind June gives us, when the light doesn't want to leave and the whole city feels a little softer. We'll walk home in the heat. We'll cool off by an open window. And then something happens. Something small, a little unexpected. I'll let you find out what. If you're ready, let's start. The evening is just beginning. Before we go, let's think about summer for a moment. There's a particular feeling to a summer evening that's different from any other time of year. The light stays longer than you expect. The air stays warm, even after the sun starts going down. People stay outside a little longer too, on porches, on steps, in backyards. In winter, everyone hurries inside. In summer, nobody wants to go in. I think that's part of why summer evenings feel so open, so full of small possibilities. You never quite know what you'll hear or see or who you'll run into just by being outside a little longer than usual. Even something as ordinary as an open window can change an evening completely. A sound drifts in that wasn't there a moment ago, and suddenly you're curious about something you weren't even thinking about 5 minutes earlier. That's the strange magic of summer. It invites you outward, almost without asking. Let's warm up our voices before we start. Relax. Say these words with me. Warm. Evening. Outside. Music. Neighbor. Summer. Light. Relax. Good. A little longer now. It's a warm evening. The sun is still up. I can hear music outside. Would you like to join us? We should do this again. Perfect. Your mouth is ready. Let's start the evening. I leave the community center a little after 6. Outside, the heat hits me immediately. Not unpleasant, just present. The kind of warmth that wraps around you the moment you step out of an air-conditioned building. The sun is still high. In June, it doesn't really start going down until almost 8. There's something strange and wonderful about that. Walking home in full daylight at an hour that feels like it should be darker. I take off my light cardigan and tie it around my bag instead. Just a t-shirt now. Better. Anna is locking up the front desk as I pass through the lobby. Hot one today, she says, fanning herself with a folded flyer for the community potluck. Brutal, I agree. Have a good evening, Anna. You too. Stay cool if you can. Outside, the street is full of summer evening life. An older man sits on his front steps, fanning himself slowly with a folded newspaper, watching the street the way people do when they have nowhere else to be. 2 kids run past me, soaked from a sprinkler someone has set up on their lawn, shrieking happily. A woman waters a row of tomato plants in front of her building, the hose hissing softly, the smell of wet soil rising up as I pass. An ice cream truck is parked on the corner, its little jingling song playing on a loop, the same 8 notes over and over, slightly out of tune in a way that's somehow part of its charm. A small line has formed, mostly children, but a few adults too, looking only slightly embarrassed about it. A man in a business suit, tie loosened, stands at the very back of the line, scrolling his phone, clearly not willing to admit how much he wants whatever's in that truck. I think about getting in line myself. Then I think about how hot the walk home already is, and how a melting ice cream cone would not improve that situation. I keep walking, though I do glance back once, a little wistfully. The whole neighborhood feels looser than usual, slower. Doors are propped open with bricks or folded mats. Windows are open too, with fans humming inside, visible even from the street. Someone's radio plays faintly from an upstairs window, something with a steady beat, mixing with the truck's jingle and the kids shrieking into one warm, chaotic summer soundtrack. A group of teenagers sits on a low wall outside the corner store, sharing a bag of chips, laughing loudly about something on someone's phone. None of them seem to be in any hurry to be anywhere else. Further down, an elderly woman waters a row of potted geraniums on her front steps with a small green watering can, moving slowly and deliberately from pot to pot, pausing to pinch off a dead leaf here and there. Two men play chess at a small folding table set up on the sidewalk outside a barbershop, a portable fan aimed directly at the board, ruffling the edges of a folded newspaper beside them. Neither looks up as I pass, fully absorbed. I pass the small grocery store on the corner. A bucket of sunflowers sits outside the door, bright yellow, slightly wilted from the heat, but still beautiful. The store owner sweeping the sidewalk nearby catches me looking. "Did you know?" he says, not even looking up from his sweeping. Young sunflowers turn to follow the sun all day. East in the morning, west by evening. Only the young ones do it, though. Once they're fully grown, they just face east and stay there. "I didn't know that," I say, genuinely surprised. "Why do the older ones stop?" He shrugs, smiling. "Nobody really knows for sure. Something about saving energy. I think I read once. Or maybe they've just seen enough sunsets." I laugh at that, and he goes back to sweeping. I think about buying one of the sunflowers. I don't, not today, but I make a note that they're there. A small bright spot to remember on the way home tomorrow, maybe. Along with a small fact I didn't have an hour ago. By the time I reach my building, my shirt is sticking to my back, and I'm more than ready to be inside. I climb the 2 flights of stairs to my apartment. The elevator has been temporarily out of service for approximately 8 months now, a sign still taped crookedly to its door, and unlock my own. Inside, the apartment is stuffy, closed up all day, the afternoon sun pressing through the windows, the air thick and still. I drop my bag by the door and immediately start unbuttoning the top button of my shirt collar. First things first. I go straight to the windows and push them open, one after another. The living room window first, then the kitchen, then the small one in my bedroom that only opens about 8 inches but still helps. A breeze moves through the apartment almost immediately, not cold, but moving air, which feels like a small miracle after the closed-up sheet. The curtains lift slightly and settle again, lift and settle, like the apartment itself is taking a breath. I turn on the fan in the corner of the living room and point it toward the window, pulling the outside air through rather than just pushing the same warm air around. Tom taught me that trick once, actually. Fans facing windows pull air in. Fans facing the room just move hot air around. I've used it every summer since. I'd change out of my work clothes into something lighter, loose shorts, an old soft t-shirt I've had for years, the kind with a faded print I can barely read anymore. I splash cold water on my face and the back of my neck at the bathroom sink, watching it drip down into the basin. It helps more than it should. In the kitchen, I open the freezer and pull out an ice tray, cracking it against the counter the way you have to with the cheap plastic kind. I fill a tall glass with ice and water, then add a few slices of lemon from a lemon that's been sitting on my counter for a few days, slightly past its best, but still good enough for this. I drink half of it standing at the counter before even sitting down, the cold making my teeth ache pleasantly. I refill the glass once more before heading to the living room. With my glass in hand, I go to the window and sit on the wide ledge, wide enough that it's basically become a second chair over the years, worn smooth in one particular spot from countless evenings spent exactly like this one. I prop my feet up on the radiator below it, cold metal even in summer, and look outside. From here, I can see down into the small courtyard behind our building, shared by a few different apartment buildings that all back onto the same space. A few trees, their leaves barely moving in the still air. A patchy strip of grass, more dirt than grass in places. Someone's bicycle leaning against a fence, its back wheel slightly bent. A cat, gray, definitely belonging to someone on the ground floor, stretches out fully on a sun-warmed patch of concrete, not moving except for the occasional flick of its tail. On the balcony of the building across the courtyard, someone has strung up a small string of fairy lights, not yet turned on, but ready for whenever the evening gets dark enough to need them. A pair of sandals sits abandoned on someone else's windowsill, drying after what was probably a very wet, very fun encounter with that same sprinkler down the street. The light outside has shifted just slightly, still bright, but with the faintest gold creeping into it now. The way June evenings slowly turn from white bright to warm bright over the course of an hour or two, almost too gradual to notice while it's happening. I take another sip of my lemon water. I can feel my shoulders dropping, the tightness from the day slowly letting go, muscle by muscle, the way it always does once I'm finally home and still. This is one of my favorite parts of any day, the moment right after coming home, before deciding what to do with the rest of the evening. A small pause, a breath. No plans yet, just this. I close my eyes for a moment, just listening. The fan humming steadily behind me, a car passing on the street below, its tires loud against the warm pavement. Somewhere, faintly, those same kids from earlier, still shrieking happily about something, maybe the sprinkler again, maybe a new game entirely, and then something else. Music, closer than the street, coming from somewhere nearby, though not from the courtyard I'm looking at. And voices, laughing, talking, more than one or two people, the particular layered sound of a small group having a good time. I open my eyes. I sit up a little straighter on the window ledge, trying to figure out where it's coming from. Not the street, not the courtyard behind my building, as far as I can tell. Somewhere closer than that, almost directly below and to the side, like it's coming from one of the small backyards that run along the row of houses just past my building, the ones with the little fences and the narrow side alleys between them. I lean toward the window, craning slightly, setting my glass down on the sill so I can press both hands against the frame. Music, something upbeat, a little brassy, the kind of music that makes you want to move, even if you're not trying to. Laughter layered over it, more than one voice, overlapping in that comfortable way that happens when people already know each other well. The clatter of what sounds like folding chairs being set up, metal legs scraping against concrete. And underneath all of it, a smell drifting up that makes my stomach growl immediately. Charcoal smoke, grilling meat, something with a sweet smoky edge to it, barbecue sauce maybe, or a marinade of some kind. I haven't smelled or heard anything like this from that direction before. I've lived here 2 years, and as far as I can remember, that particular yard has always been quiet. The occasional sound of someone watering plants, nothing more. Whatever is happening tonight, it's new. I finish my water, set the glass back on the windowsill, and mostly out of curiosity, not really with a plan, I slip on my sandals by the door and head downstairs, taking the 2 flights 2 at a time. Outside, the warm evening air wraps around me again, but it feels different now. Somehow more alive, more interesting, charged with the promise of finding out what's actually happening. The street itself looks slightly different too, viewed with a destination in mind rather than just the endpoint of a long walk home. The same row of houses, but somehow more vivid, more worth noticing. A dog barks once, somewhere behind a fence, then goes quiet. Somewhere above, a window unit air conditioner drips steadily onto the pavement, a small puddle forming beneath it. The sound is much clearer out here. It's definitely coming from the yard behind the yellow house 2 doors down, a house I know mostly by sight. I've seen the man who lives there a few times, watering his small front garden in the evenings, always with a friendly nod, but never more than that. I don't even know his name. I walk a little closer, not quite sure what I'm doing, not wanting to seem like I'm spying on a stranger's backyard gathering, but also genuinely curious, drawn forward almost without deciding to be. A side gate is open, just slightly, propped with a brick. Through the gap, I can see a small backyard strung with simple string lights, even though it's not dark yet. The kind of lights that don't really do anything in daylight, but promise something nice once the sun goes down. A grill is going at the back, smoke curling up into the golden evening air in a thin gray ribbon. 5 or 6 people are scattered around the small space, sitting in mismatched folding chairs, standing near a cooler propped open with ice. One person crouched over a small speaker on a wooden table, adjusting something. Before I can decide whether to keep walking past, pretend I was just passing by, never even slow down, a man near the grill looks up from what he's doing and sees me standing at the gate. He waves, a big, easy wave, like we already know each other, like my standing there is the most natural thing in the world. "Hey, come on in!" I hesitate, half laughing at being caught, one hand still resting on the gate. "Oh, sorry, I was just curious, I didn't mean to." "You're not intruding at all," he says, setting down his grilling tongs on a small side table and walking toward the gate, wiping his hands on an apron that reads, in slightly faded letters, "Grill Sergeant." "I'm Dave. I live here. We're just having a few neighbors over. Spontaneous thing, really. Started about an hour ago. Come join us." "I don't want to intrude," I say again, even as I'm already half stepping through the gate, the smell of the grill pulling me forward more than I'd like to admit. "Seriously, the more the better. We made way too much food. You'd genuinely be doing us a favor." I look back toward my building for a second, just a glance, checking that it's still there, that I haven't wandered too far from home, then back at the warm little gathering in front of me. String lights, music, the smell of something delicious cooking. A small group of strangers who somehow already feel less like strangers than people I pass on the street every day. "Okay," I say, "just for a little while." "That's the spirit," Dave says, grinning, already reaching to swing the gate fully open for me. "I'm Emma, by the way." He pauses, laughing at himself. "Wait, you're Emma. I'm Dave. I always do that, get the names backward." I laugh too, stepping fully into the yard now. "Nice to meet you, Dave." Dave leads me further into the yard, past a small table covered with bowls of chips, a watermelon cut into thick wedges, and a pitcher of something pink and cold, condensation already running down its sides. "That's my wife's lemonade," he says, nodding at the pitcher. "Strawberry. Fair warning, it's strong on the sugar." "I'll risk it," I say, and he laughs, pouring me a glass before I can even reach for it myself. ice tubes clinking against the sides. The lemonade is sweet and cold and very good, the strawberry coming through more as a color than a strong flavor, which somehow makes it even better. I take a long sip, feeling it cool me from the inside out. A woman near the cooler waves me over, setting down a bag of ice she'd been about to open. "Hi, I'm Priya. I live 2 houses down, the one with the blue door." "Emma, I'm actually really close too, that brick building right there," I say, pointing back toward mine over the fence line. "Oh, I think I've seen you. Do you have a gray bike, sometimes locked outside?" "That's my neighbor's actually, but I see it every day too." We both laugh. It's a small, easy kind of laugh, the kind that happens between people who are basically strangers, but already feel a little familiar, just from sharing a few blocks of the same street, the same view of the same gray bike. "How long have you lived here?" I ask her. 4 years now. Dave's the unofficial mayor of the block. You'll figure that out fast. He knows everyone, remembers every birthday, organizes basically everything that happens around here. "That tracks," I say, glancing over at Dave, who is now deep in conversation with someone by the grill, gesturing enthusiastically with his tongs. An older man near the grill, who I learned is Priya's father, visiting for the summer from overseas, asks where I'm from. When I tell him, he nods thoughtfully, setting down his own drink, and says something I don't quite expect. "You know, fireflies don't exist where I grew up," he says, his eyes bright with the memory. "First summer I came here, I thought someone was playing a trick on me. Little lights, just floating in the grass, blinking on and off. I'd never seen anything like it." "Really? They don't have them everywhere?" "Only certain places. Something about the right kind of warm, wet summer. You'll probably see some tonight, once it gets a little darker." I find that strange and a little wonderful. That's something so ordinary to me, something I've seen every June for as long as I can remember, was once completely new and astonishing to someone else, enough to remember in vivid detail decades later. Dave calls out from the grill that the food is almost ready, and people start gathering paper plates from a stack on the table. The conversation pausing briefly as everyone reorganizes around the food. "What can I bring next time?" I asked Dave as he flicked something on the grill. "If there is a next time." "Oh, there's definitely a next time," he says. "We do this every couple of weeks, all summer. Totally informal. Whoever's around wanders over. Bring whatever. Or nothing. Doesn't matter. That's a really nice tradition. Started it 3 summers ago, almost by accident," he says. "Grilled too much one night, told a neighbor to come grab a plate before it went to waste. Word got around. Now it just kind of happens." He hands me a paper plate with a piece of grilled corn, something that looks like grilled chicken, and a scoop of a pasta salad someone brought. "This smells amazing," I tell him. "Family recipe. Well, my sister's recipe, technically, but I take full credit when she's not around." I point at the corn, still slightly smoking. "How do you get it charred like this without burning it?" "Soak it in the husk first," Dave says, like he's been waiting all evening for someone to ask. 20 minutes in water, husk and all, before it goes on the grill. The husk steams the corn from the inside while the outside chars. People skip that step and wonder why their corn turns into charcoal. I did not know that. Most people don't. It's the kind of thing you only learn from someone who's already burned a dozen ears of corn, finding it out the hard way. I find a folding chair near Priya and her father and sit down, balancing the paper plate carefully on my knees. The chair wobbles slightly on the uneven grass, but settles once I shift my weight. The food is genuinely delicious, the corn slightly charred at the edges, sweet and smoky, the chicken tender with some kind of spice rub I can't quite identify but want to ask about. The conversation moves easily from topic to topic. The heat this week, a new coffee shop that opened a few streets over, someone's dog that keeps escaping through a gap in their fence. much to the apparent amusement of everyone except the dog's owner, who is also here, defending himself good-naturedly. "He's a master escape artist," the dog's owner says, shaking his head. "I've patched that fence 3 times. Maybe he just wants to come to the barbecues too," Priya suggests. "Honestly, probably. He's got better social skills than half the humans on this block." Everyone laughs. Somewhere behind the laughter, the music shifts to a new song, and a couple of people near the speaker start swaying slightly without really standing up to dance, just enjoying it from where they're sitting. Nobody asks too many questions about where I'm from or what I do, beyond the basics. Nobody needs to know my whole life story. It's just easy, light conversation between people sharing a backyard on a warm evening. Exactly the kind of thing that doesn't happen if you stay inside with your windows shut, doesn't happen if you walk past a gate instead of stopping at it. I finish the corn, set the cob down on the edge of my plate, and reach for a napkin from the stack on the table. As I do, an idea forms. Half impulse, half genuine wish. I pull out my phone. I type a quick message to Sarah, thumb moving fast. "You won't believe where I am right now." 3 dots appear almost immediately. Sarah never makes anyone wait for a reply if she can help it. Where? I take a quick photo of the backyard, the string lights just beginning to actually glow against the dimming sky, the grill, Dave gesturing animatedly about something to Priya's father, and send it. A neighbor's backyard BBQ. I heard music from my window and just walked over. What? That is so you. I'm coming. I laugh out loud at how fast that decision was made, which makes Priya glance over, curious. "My friend Sarah," I explain, turning my phone slightly to show her the message. I just told her where I am. She's apparently coming. "The more the merrier," Priya says easily, waving a hand like this kind of thing happens all the time, which, from what Dave said earlier, it more or less does. True to her word, Sarah arrives about 25 minutes later, slightly out of breath, like she practically jogged the last block, her tote bag bouncing against her hip. "I cannot believe this is a real thing happening," she says, looking around at the yard with open delight, taking in the string lights, the grill, the small cluster of folding chairs. "You just heard music and walked into a stranger's backyard?" "Dave invited me. It wasn't that strange. It's a little strange, in the best way." I introduce her around. Dave, who immediately offers her a plate before she's even finished saying hello. Priya, who she hits it off with instantly over a shared love of a TV show I've never watched, the two of them already talking faster than I can follow. Priya's father, who tells Sarah the same firefly story he told me, with just as much enthusiasm the second time, hands gesturing to show how the lights had floated around him that very first summer. By now, the light has changed again. The gold has deepened into something closer to orange, then slowly fading toward a soft pink at the edges of the sky above the rooftops. The air has cooled just slightly, enough that it feels comfortable rather than heavy. Sarah settles into the folding chair next to mine, a plate balanced on her knees. "This is exactly what I needed today," she says, more quietly now, just to me. "I had a long one. Tell me." She tells me about her day. Nothing dramatic, just one of those days that drags a little. Meeting after meeting, lunch eaten at her desk between emails. The kind of day that makes a random backyard barbecue feel like exactly the right medicine. "And now I'm here," she says, gesturing at the yard with her fork, a piece of corn still on it. Eating mystery pasta salad with strangers, genuinely so much better. It's good pasta salad, though. It's really good pasta salad. I might ask Priya for the recipe. You've known her for 10 minutes. 10 very good minutes. We sit there for a while longer, the conversation drifting easily between everyone in the yard. Dave starts telling a long story about a fishing trip from a few summers back. A fish that, by his account, gets larger every time he tells the story. Something Priya points out with a knowing look that makes everyone laugh, including Dave himself. Across from us, Priya's father has produced a worn deck of cards from somewhere. His jacket pocket maybe, or maybe he just always has one nearby, and is teaching Sarah a game I don't recognize. Something involving matching colors and calling out a word in his first language each time a match is made. "What does that word mean?" Sarah asks, after he calls it out for the third time, clearly delighted with himself. "It means something like 'found it,'" he explains. "My own father taught me this game. I must have been 6, maybe 7. We played it every summer evening on the porch, until it got too dark to see the cards." "That's really sweet," Sarah says, studying her cards with new interest now. "It is also," he adds, grinning, "a very good way to win cheap money from grandchildren. I am undefeated against my own." Sarah laughs and loses the next round almost immediately, much to his obvious satisfaction. The music shifts to something slower as the evening settles in. The brassy, upbeat songs from earlier giving way to something softer, more relaxed, matching the mood of a gathering that has nowhere left to rush toward. Eventually, Dave starts gathering empty plates and stacking them into a recycling bin near the back door, and the gentle, winding down energy of a gathering reaching its natural end begins to settle over the yard. Not sad, just complete, the way a good evening sometimes simply runs its course. "We should do this again sometime," Sarah says, standing and stretching, her chair creaking as she rises. "We just did," I say, spontaneously. "That was the whole point." "Then we should do it again, spontaneously, soon. Deal." We say our goodbyes slowly, the way people do at the end of a gathering nobody really wants to end. Dave makes both Sarah and me promise to come back for the next one, whenever it happens. Priya exchanges numbers with Sarah, already planning to watch the next episode of their show together. Her father waves warmly, telling me to look for fireflies on my way home. They'll be out by now, I bet. Sarah and I step back through the side gate into the alley, then out onto the street. The sky has changed completely now. The orange and pink have faded into a deep, soft blue. Not quite dark, but no longer evening either. The streetlights along the block are just starting to flicker on, one by one. Their warm orange glow not yet strong enough to fully compete with the natural light still lingering in the sky. The air is noticeably cooler than it was when I walked home from work, though still warm enough to be comfortable without a jacket. "This was such a good random evening," Sarah says, as we walk toward my building, where she'll keep going a few more blocks to catch her bus. "It really was. You know, if you hadn't texted me, I would have just gone home and watched TV alone. If I hadn't heard the music, I would have done the exact same thing." We both laugh at that. At how close the whole evening came to simply not happening at all, just because of a closed window or a quiet hour. Just because of one small decision that could easily have gone the other way. We walk slowly, in no rush, past the corner store where the teenagers from earlier have been replaced by a different group entirely. Past the now empty spot where the ice cream truck had parked, its jingle long gone for the night. A few porch lights have come on. Somewhere a screen door bangs shut, followed by a child's voice calling out something we can't quite make out. As we reach the corner near my building, something small catches my eye in the patch of grass beside the sidewalk. A tiny light, blinking on, then off. "Look," I say, stopping, putting a hand lightly on Sarah's arm. Sarah follows my gaze. Another light blinks on, a little further away, low in the grass. Then another, higher up, near the lowest branch of a small tree. "Fireflies," she says softly, her voice dropping the way people's voices do around something small and delicate. We stand there for a moment, just watching the small lights appear and disappear across the dim brass, scattered like tiny stars that decided to come down for a visit. One drifts close enough that I can almost make out its shape before it blinks dark again. Priya's dad said they don't have these where he grew up, I tell her. He said the first time he saw them, he thought it was some kind of trick. Little lights just floating in the grass, for no reason. I can see why. They really do look like magic, if you've never seen one before. I never really thought about it, I say. I've just always had them, every summer. It's strange to think some people grow up without ever seeing one. Makes you appreciate the ordinary stuff a little more, Sarah says, still watching the grass. A small child, maybe 5 or 6, still in swim shorts from some earlier adventure with a sprinkler, runs past us with a glass jar, lid already punched with tiny air holes, clearly on the exact same mission we are. He stops a few feet away, cups his hands around something invisible to us, then carefully transfers it into the jar, holding it up triumphantly to nobody in particular, before running off again toward a porch where an adult is calling him in for the night. I used to do that, I say, smiling after him. Catch them in a jar. Always let them go before bed, Bill. My mom made sure of that. Smart mom. We watch for another minute before continuing on, neither of us in any particular hurry to walk away from the small show. Sarah hugs me at the corner, her bag shifting on her shoulder. Text me next time you hear mysterious party music, she says. Always. I mean it. Anytime. I'll drop everything. I believe you. You got here in 25 minutes. She laughs, waves once more, and heads off toward her bus stop, her silhouette growing smaller under the row of now fully lit streetlights. I climb the 2 flights of stairs back to my apartment, the evening's warmth spill on my skin, my sandals slapping softly against each step. Inside, I leave the windows open. The fan hums quietly in the corner, still pulling the night air through the apartment. Somewhere outside, faintly, I can still hear the last bit of music from Dave's backyard, winding down now, along with the first real chorus of crickets, starting up for the night, that steady, rhythmic sound that seems to arrive all at once each summer, as if someone flipped a switch. I rinse my glass from earlier and set it in the drying rack. I check my phone once more, a message from Sarah already waiting. Home safe. Best random Monday in a while. Thank you for the text. I smile and type back a single heart. I think about how the whole evening almost didn't happen. One open window, one curious moment, one small decision to walk outside instead of staying in. If I'd kept the windows shut, if I'd been too tired to investigate, if Dave hadn't happened to look up at exactly that moment, none of it would have happened at all. A good surprise on an otherwise ordinary Monday. I get ready for bed slowly, the windows still open, the warm summer night settling in around the apartment like something soft and familiar. Just before turning off the lamp, I glance once more toward the window, half hoping to see one last firefly drift past. I don't, but I fall asleep smiling anyway. Before we finish today, let's practice a few phrases together. These are phrases for warm evenings, casual gatherings, and unexpected invitations. You've heard them all today. Now, let's say them out loud. Pattern 1. It's so perfect for describing how something feels, the weather, a place, a mood. It's so warm tonight. It's so nice outside. It's so relaxing here. It's so quiet on this street. It's so good to see you. It's so unexpected, but so nice. Good. Keep going. Pattern 2. Would you like? Polite, warm, perfect for offering something to someone. Would you like a drink? Would you like some food? Would you like to sit down? Would you like to join us? Would you like some lemonade? Would you like a little more? Perfect. One more pattern. Pattern 3. We should. For making easy, casual plans. No pressure, just an idea. We should do this again. We should meet more often. We should sit outside more. We should invite more people. We should stay a little longer. That's 3 patterns. It's so. Would you like? We should. Simple words, but they open doors, sometimes literally, like a backyard gate on a warm summer evening. Now it's your turn. Not to repeat, just to speak about your own evening, your own summer, in your own words. There is no right answer. Whatever comes out, that is your English. It counts. Let's try. Think about a warm evening you remember, maybe from this summer or from somewhere you used to live. What do you remember about it? The light? A sound? A smell? Take your time. Use the words you remember. Good. One more. Has anything unexpected and nice ever happened to you? Like hearing music from a neighbor and ending up somewhere you didn't plan to be? Take your time. Whatever comes out, that is your English. That's it. Whatever you said, it's real. It's yours. Today, we lived through a long summer evening together. We walked home in the heat. We cooled off by an open window. We heard something unexpected, music, laughter, the smell of grilling, and we followed it. We met new people. We shared food. A friend showed up out of nowhere, and the evening got even better. We watched fireflies appear in the dark blue light. We walked home, slowly, under streetlights just turning on. Sometimes the best evenings aren't planned at all. They start with an open window, or a curious sound, or a small decision to step outside instead of staying in. I'll be back next Monday, same time. A new evening, a new world. Until then, take care of yourself. Speak when you can. And if you hear music tonight, maybe go see where it's coming from. This is Emma from Speak English Daily. Good evening, wherever you are.